Hi there, today in this session we will discuss about Python. Python is a simple, general purpose, high level and object oriented language known for its simplicity and readability. It is an interpreted scripting language also created by Guido van Rossum during 1985 to 1990. It is widely used in various fields like web development, data analysis, artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, and more. Python is dynamically typed variable in which it do not require explicit declaration of their types, and interpreted nature makes it ideal for application development because Python code is executed line by line, allowing for a quick testing and debugging. Python has a powerful development libraries like AI, machine learning, etc. Python comes with a vast standard library and many third-party libraries which helps in areas like data manipulation, web development and scientific computing. Python is much in demand and ensure the high salary. As I discuss its nature of simple and easy to learn interpreted language, dynamically typed, extensive libraries, it is a cross-platform, can run on various operating systems, and as I discuss, it is object-oriented programming with concepts like classes and objects, which is too much in hype today. Python has some key features like it is extendable, portable, has a support of standard library, databases support to connect with the data layer, scalable and has a GUI programming feature. Python is easy to understand and making it ideal for the beginners. Code is executed as I discussed line by line that allows a quick testing and debugging. Supports the object-oriented programming with the concepts like classes and objects, run on the various operating system, which makes it portable, like it supports on Windows, Linux and Mac OS without modification. And as I discussed, comes with a standard library and some third-party libraries which we can download and install with the help of pip, and that covers the major areas like data manipulation, web development and scientific computing. Stay tuned to learn about the practical and the real-time approaches of Python to be used in your projects. See you in the next video. Hi there, today in this session we will discuss about Python advantages and disadvantages. Python is easy to learn and use because it has a simple syntax, making it an ideal choice for beginners and experienced developers alike, and it is readable and leads to the faster learning and easier debugging. It improves the productivity because Python's simplicity and high-level constructs allow the developers to be productive and wire implemented with the code compared to the other languages like Java or C++. It is an interpreted language because, as I discussed, the Python is easily to integrate with other languages and has a implementation of execution that is a line by line, which makes it more intellectual and capable. It has an open source support. As I discussed, Python is compatible with multiple operating systems like Windows, Mac OS and Linux. So programs written on one platform can be run on another without modification, and it is freely available. Because of the support of cross-platform compatibility, the code is easily portable without any modification, can be written and executed on different platforms. We have a support of massive libraries because Python has a vast standard library and numerous third-party libraries like NumPy, Panda, TensorFlow and Django, which provides ready-made solution for various tasks such as web development, data analysis, machine learning and automation. Python is easy to integrate and versatile across diverse fields like development, AI, machine learning, data science, automation, gaming, and more. Whenever we talk about any technology that comes with some cons, few we have for the Python also. The one is a low speed. Since Python is an interpreted language, it tends to be slower compared to compiled languages like C or C++. The execution speed may be drawback for performance critical applications. Insufficient memory consumption. Basically, Python's dynamic nature and high memory consumption can be a problem when developing memory-intensive applications. Weak in mobile devices. While Python is strong in web and server-side development, it is not widely used in mobile development. But Python is not the first choice for building the mobile application. So you can use or explore the other technologies for the mobile development like Flutter, React Native, and so on. Difficult to access the database. Basically, Python's database access layer are considered to be less developed compared to other languages like Java or C#. Though libraries exist for database connectivity, Python is not typically used in enterprise-level database application and not ideal for high-performance computing. Prone to cause the runtime errors. Yes. Since Python is dynamically typed, certain errors related to variables types may only surface during the runtime as opposed to compile time errors in statically typed languages like Java. So these advantages and disadvantages to be keep in mind while developing and choosing the Python for your project in a right strategy and right approach. See you in the next video. Hi there. Python is an interpreted language. This means that Python code is executed line by line by an interpreter at runtime rather being compiled into machine code before execution, as in compiled languages like C or Java. So there are the characteristics of Python as an interpreted language, such as immediate execution, platform independence, easier debugging, dynamic typing, but slower execution than compiled languages. Python code is not compiled into a separate binary file before execution. Instead, the Python interpreter reads and executes the code directly. Python's source code can run on different platforms, make it platform independent. Since Python is interpreted, developer can easily run and test code without a compilation step that makes it easier in debugging. In Python, variable types are determined at runtime rather than at compile time. The interpreter decides the type of a variable dynamically during execution. That's called dynamic typing. As I discussed, the code is directly executed line by line without compilation, so slower execution than the compiled languages. Because source code is first compiled into machine code by the compilers in the compiled languages, but in the interpreter, the code is executed line by line by the interpreter. While easier to work with the faster for development, interpreted languages generally run slower compared to the compiled languages. There are the interpreted languages. Like JavaScript, Python, Ruby and Perl. Along with that, we also have Bash, PHP and Lua. These are the interpreted languages that do not compile before their execution. Stay tuned to learn about more implementation approach of running and interpreting the Python code at runtime. See you in the next video. Hi there. In this session, we will discuss about Python history. Python has an interesting history of development spanning several decades. Like in 1980 late, the creation of Python started by Guido van Rossum, a Dutch programmer. Then in 1989, the implementation started. Officially, Python 1.0 was released in January 1994, and this was the first major release where various key features included gained popularity in the academic and open source communities for its readability and simplicity. Then in October 2000, Python 2.0 was released with some key enhancements like list comprehensions, garbage collection, Unicodes. Python 2.0 series remained in active use for many years and has a major milestone. Then in 2008 December, Python 3.0 is released, and it was a major overhaul aimed at fixing fundamental design in Python 2.0. Not backward compatible, Python 3 was not backward compatible with Python 2. Some changes in syntax and standard libraries were not compatible with Python 2.0. Some key improvements like print function, integer division, better Unicode support, modern library changes were introduced. Then in 2015, Python 2.7 is released and did a blast, and it has a series saw the languages evolve rapidly with regular updates and features enhancement. Then in 2020, many developers and organizations were slow to adopt Python 3 due to the significant differences between Python 2 and 3, but it comes with a full transition to the Python 3, which has introduced in Python 3.6 like f-strings, asynco, type hints and many more. Lately, Python's 3.x is released, where it introduced various modules, native supports for time zones and other modern enhancements, and introduced structural pattern matching, a feature inspired by the switch case statement in other languages. So, summary of the major releases is Python 0.90 in 1991 or 89, Python 1.0 first major release, 2.0 2000, and Python 3.0, that is a major redesign, not backward compatible with Python 2.0. So, Python has evolved into a powerful multi-purpose language, maintaining its original goal of being easy to read and use, while also being robust enough for industrial grade applications. I hope we also gonna do blast doing the project level implementations and understanding the real need of this technology to be used before an implementation. See you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video. Hi there. Today in this session we will discuss about downloading and installing Python. Go to the official website python.org downloads. The site should automatically detect your operating system and provide the appropriate version for you to download. The latest stable version for the Python is 3.12.3. Let's continue with the hands-on. This is the official website. As I discussed, the site should automatically detect the operating system, that is the Windows, and provide the appropriate version for you to download. If you are not using Windows or you are downloading for the other operating system, you can go to select the operating system from here, and you can also go to the downloads and look out for the operating system that you would like to use. You have to download this installer. After that, you will get this installer in your downloads. The moment you will get this installer, you need to double click this installer as it is an exe file to start the installation process. I already have installed this Python 3.12.6. So I can click on the modify, you click on the install. There would be an option to add path to the environment variable. Don't forget to check that when you install it for the first time. And simply say next, 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 and it will install the latest version. As I discussed, important to check the box to add Python to path. And once the installation gets completed, just open up your command prompt. Over this command prompt, you can simply check the Python version by writing Python --version py, which version of Python is installed. And once it is checked, you can simply use Python py. It is in Python interpreter over the command prompt gets open. You can use any command here to check whether the Python is successfully installed or working fine or not. Either we can use py. Some people also write Python like this and they start with. Python 3 you can also write if you are using Mac, and simply you can write here any of the instructions. For example, I write here print hello world and simply enter. This is printing the hello world. You can also use the expression here, let's say 3 plus 4, this will return 7 to you. That's it, you have successfully installed Python on your system. Just press Ctrl Z or Ctrl C to terminate your Python IDE or Python command line. I will be using Visual Studio Code as an editor for the initial sessions, and later I will introduce the Python IDE also. So this is the Python IDE which I'll be using right now, Visual Studio Code. You can go to the official website and install this Visual Studio Code, that is code.visualstudio. Again, once you will open this, it will look out for your desired operating system and suggest you. Click on this download for Windows. If you have other operating system, just click on the download and look out for the downloader. Once you will download and install the Visual Studio, this is the first page that you will get, or a screen that you will get. I will assist you further how do we use Visual Studio Code for configuring the Python as well as running the Python files and projects from here. I hope all the steps are pretty clear to all of you. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video. Hi there. To write and run your first Python program using Visual Studio Code, let's follow few steps. If you have not downloaded this Visual Studio Code, go and install this first, and after that open Visual Studio Code. We will start with a very fresh Python project. I will go to File, New Window folder, to my D drive, going to create a Python snippets folder. It is in completely empty folder. Don't mind if I have any file. This is a very fresh folder. I write here my first Python file with the extension py, index.py. I write here a basic print command that says print hello world, and I just simply terminate this. I also write print star multiplied by 10. So this will print asterisk 10 times. How do we run this? Although you can directly run this with the help of terminal, but I suggest you that always go for an extension and look out for the extension Python. I already have this Python extension installed. This extension helps with Python code completion, linting, debugging and running your code. After that, I go to the terminal. Visual Studio Code has inbuilt terminal. I'll go to the new terminal, and here I would like to run my first Python code. So I simply write Python or py index.py. So you can see that first statement prints the hello world and next prints the asterisk 10 times. If you have Python extension installed, you can run the code directly within the Visual Studio Code also. You can see that here we have a run code. When we do not have a terminal, let me just kill both the terminals. Just click on this run and the Python code gets run. You might see that when I run Python code, it looks like this. There is also a shortcut that you can use to run the Python code, but for that you need to install the extension, that is a code runner. This code runner helps in running the different applications, and we having shortcut extensions for that. Once we have this, you don't even need to go to this run command. There is a shortcut which is Control, Alt, Control and N. Once you will use this, there is an output window gets open and executes your Python file. If there is no output, ensure that Python is correctly installed and added to the system path. Check that the correct Python interpreter is selected. So there is a few points to be noted. Write the code in .py extension. Save this in Visual Studio Code. Run it using the terminal or Visual Studio Code run feature, or as I discussed, we can use a code runner with the help of the shortcut called Control Alt plus N, and see the output in the terminal or output window. That's it. You have successfully written and run your first Python program using Visual Studio Code. Until next time, stay tuned. See you in the next video.